welcome to Liverpool again, Jake.
Thank you.
What do you think of this city?
Nice, yeah, I like it.
We're in a green part here, near the river. First time here?
Yeah.
It's quite a pleasant place to come, Liverpool. So, how long have you been interested in nationalism, Jake?
Probably say well over 10 years. Yeah, since I was 17, 18. Yeah.
So you're going back to 2009, 2007?
Yeah.
So you're a patriot?
Yeah, definitely.
Where did that patriotism come from?
Like I said, my family, I've always been patriotic and what have you, and then I think more so, obviously with all the bad stuff that's been happening, I just got more and more involved, and then obviously the old days of EDL and other things, and what happened with Lee Rigby and Rotherham, I just obviously came from there and I became more and more involved.
There was a whole welter of things that happened which shocked people. But
that's where my red pill more than
I think, patriotism, it's a natural sentiment, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, you're born into a nation, you're born into a group of people, and you should love those people that you're with.
Definitely.
And you're fighting for each other's interests. There's mutual interest, but somehow they're trying to warp people to go against their own country and their own people.
Definitely, globalist agenda.
Now, what was your schooling like? Did they try and do that to you in school?
A little bit, but not as much as it is now. It's a lot worse now, but they still tried to, but we still obviously we learned about history and its culture and what have you, but obviously now it's totally different unless you go to certain like boarding schools or private schools. It weren't too bad for me, but I know younger generations.
Now, I like yourself, I was a patriot, but what motivated me to get active, what red pill me, was 9/11. Now that I just walked out of my home in Liverpool. I was living Toxteth in Liverpool, and I saw people celebrating on the streets, and I didn't know what it was about. And somebody come up to me and said, "The Americans deserve that," and I said, "Deserve what?" He said, "Haven't you heard? They've attacked the Twin Towers and the Pentagon." I said, "Who's attacked?" It was a shock, you know. Why were these people celebrating an attack on America? And it was mainly Arabs and blacks, and they were bullying about it, and it really shocked me, because I immediately thought a lot of people have lost their lives in these attacks.
Over 3,000 people.
And that didn't seem to bother them. In fact, they were celebrating the death of these people, and I thought, something's wrong. Something's going wrong in our society. I've got to take a stand. And I got involved then and developed my ideas. Now, what was it that red pilled you?
More than anything, Rotherham. Islamic jihad rape gangs, that was, obviously I live next door, that was the main thing, I'd say.
You were in Sheffield,
and Lee Rigby as well, but specifically them. And then obviously ever since then you've had Telford, then you've had obviously, it's 2017, what happened with 3 or 4 different...
Were you aware of these grooming gangs before it was all exposed with Rotherham?
I'd heard of bits and bobs, from older generation, about things happening and to do with takeaways and taxi ranks, but it all sort of came to light when obviously, it all came to light on the documentaries, and the mainstream media finally reported what had been going on for decades.
Now, actually it's true, it's decades, because I remember Nick Griffin getting involved in that issue about 2004, 2005 in a place called Keighley, which is another part of Yorkshire. And I knew this was happening in a lot of towns. I mean, Rotherham wasn't the biggest incident of it. It was much bigger in places like Bradford. It was happening constantly. I mean, I remember when New Labour got into power, we saw an explosion in immigration. People coming in from the third world, especially from Pakistan. And it was happening in my neighbourhood. These grooming gangs were active, and I was shocked by it, because the police were not prosecuting. They were allowing them to get away with it. And people were ringing up to radio stations in despair and saying, "Look, they've got my daughter and I can't rescue her because the police have stopped me." And I thought, what's going on in this country? It's mad.
It's mental.
Now, we've put up with this now for 20 years.
If not more in some cases.
More than 20 years. Really certainly since Tony Blair got elected in 1997. Do you see any hope on the horizon that we're actually going to eventually overcome all this?
I do, Paul. I see a lot of big things, especially obviously Germany. Obviously with Eastern Europe, Southern Europe, obviously Salvini in Italy, Matteo Salvini. I know he's been knocked off at peg as recent, but
he's coming back strong.
In the next 6 months, he'll be leader of, they'll call it the snap election, he'll be leader of Italy, because his power in Italy is growing daily. And like I said, you've got AfD, Alternative for Deutschland in Germany. You've got obviously Austria, Switzerland, France, Marine Le Pen. Like everywhere you look, it's happening in Poland, Law and Justice Party.
This is the issue. This what we see here now is we're being dispossessed in our own land by people coming in from, especially the third world, from Africa, from Pakistan, from the Middle East,
North Africa,
colonising our cities, and we're effectively being pushed out to city after city.
As bad as it says, it's like demographic replacement. The great replacement.
Demographic replacement.
That's what it is.
First of all, they dispossess us, then they replace us.
Yep.
Now it's happening right across Europe. It's happening across the West. And as you say, people are waking up now in Europe, and there's some really terrific political movements emerging in Europe. But what do you see emerging in Britain? How do you see us getting involved in this?
There's loads of different groups, but what I'd love to see is different groups networking. So it doesn't matter if you're more right or if you're more, I don't know, if you're more anti-jihad or if you're more of a nationalist or a patriot. We all need to work for the bigger cause, and that's what we need to do now. We can't just have a section there and they do that, and then we need to be united and networking as a whole. And obviously we need to push the Conservatives with obviously the Brexit Party paradigm shift more to the right, like you're seeing obviously with
becoming a populist party.
Definitely.
Did you see
shifting it from the centralist to the more
I see great potential in the Conservative Party, because the reason Boris Johnson is leader now is he was elected by the membership. Now the Tory Party, like the Labour Party, become democratic. So if you join the Tory Party now, you get a vote in selecting the candidates, voting in selecting the leader. I joined, and I thought I'll get a vote here to select who the next leader is, and they told me no, you've got to be in it 3 months. This was just when Theresa May just was about to be toppled, but thankfully her toppling was delayed, and it was actually 4 months later that she went. So I had a chance to vote. So I had a chance to vote for Boris Johnson, and with all these sort of so-called moderates, but really traitors, the likes of Kenneth Clarke and Phil Hammond, they've now jumped ship.
They're just globalists.
They're globalists.
Like same with what happened when Trump took over the Republican Party. He shifted it more to the right, and he got rid of the neocons in the Conservative. Under Bush, there were more neocon Republicans. That's the same with the Tory Party. They're more globalist neocons. Mainly, they're not real Conservatives whatsoever, and they're not like people like Jacob B-Smog. But that paradigm shift needs to shift more to the traditional right, and then obviously people like Kenneth Clarke, they need to be pushed out of the party, because because he's not a patriot. No. He
said patriotism. He just shrugged his shoulders. He wasn't interested.
It's like for instance Merkel in Germany. She's obviously, her party is a centre-right party, but she doesn't even like to wave the German flag. She feels offended by she's pushed. She's not a patriot at all. Left, you know what I mean? Massive.
So basically, what we're saying is we've got to have an international perspective on this. We've got to see this way the whole world is changing.
It's a pan-European movement where everyone just networks with like-minded people and we all come together under one
and it's cause. Starting to come alive in Britain now, isn't it?
It's very, very fast as well.
Now, you see, Trump had a rally yesterday in North Carolina, and at that rally they spoke about the three basic building blocks of conservatism are family, faith, and country or fatherland, whatever you want. The 3 Fs I call them. And there was like the Conservative Party abandoned that in this country. And of course Blair hated all of that. He wanted to destroy this country. We have to rebuild the sort of patriotic spirit in this country. How are we going to accomplish that?
Three main things I'd say is to be more family orientated. Whether you're religious or not religious, just doing your duty and just I don't know, looking into your culture and your heritage. Maybe go to church once a week if you can, or if not, just and
sadly, a lot of the churches have been corrupted by Marxism as well.
Liberal,
but not the Bible. We've always got the Bible.
And thirdly, just doing stuff to like for your neighbours and looking out for one another and spending time with your family, friends, and your loved ones, and just working as a team and just. It's unity basically. It's like faith, culture, and
building up communities again.
Definitely,
Have you been involved in any political party yourself or political organisation?
No, I've been in a few different groups, but nothing political. Just certain groups like Generation Identity, or obviously
they're an interesting group.
Really good group.
A lot of ideas.
UKIP and other ones, and obviously, but more than anything, I like to network with just like-minded people and just get my voice there.
What about the street movements, the EDL, Britain First?
I did EDL for a bit. I mean, obviously, I'm not really a member, but I used to go to demonstrations across the country, Rotherham, and obviously.
I think what's important about those movements is that you see the breadth of our support. That we're actually a mass movement. That a lot of people think like us.
Yeah, they do.
Because
just getting people out there.
We have to. I mean, this is what is so good about Trump. We have to undermine the mainstream media.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, we have to totally reiterate to people all the time. It's fake news. It's a lie. We're educating people, aren't we? We're educating people.
Big time.
But how do you see it developing politically then from now on, especially with Brexit?
What I'd like to see obviously a paradigm shift in the Conservative Party. You get Brexit to do a coalition with the Conservatives and shift the paradigm shift more to the right, and then if they do that, they'll sweep a general election, they'll win in a landslide. but they need to work as a team. We don't need to. What we don't want to do is have people voting, Brexit Party against Tories. They need to be. They need to be doing what they can win, and obviously the Brexit Party needs to be focusing on Labour heartlands and going from there.
I actually think it might be better if the Brexit Party simply merged it, just join the Conservative Party en masse. But people are asking, people say, the cynics, that it's too late.
No, it's not too late. It's never too late.
Now, I don't, we see the power of Islam in this country, right?
Yeah.
We don't know how many Muslims there are in this country. There could be 4 million, there could be 5 million. They're obviously very well organised through the mosque. So I was going to say, Islam's organised through the mosque. They're taking over local branches of the Labour Party. We saw in Peterborough that they can win elections by mobilising the Muslim black vote. How are we going to stop their march in this society?
We just need to get our people active, involved in politics and networking and uniting and getting our people out and voting, because there's literally like millions and millions of working class people or middle class, but specifically working class, that don't vote, and then they're living in their areas that are never changed because they're not voting the people out of office. We need to get people from these areas to come out and vote once and for all.
They need to be motivated, don't they? We need leaders. Who do you see as the future leaders?
I think there's a lot of good people like Tommy Robinson. He's really good for the cause. He's his brand name. He's been in that, and he's been involved for a long time.
He's well known, isn't he?
Well known, and I just think people like that, like-minded people that can just, that can rub shoulders with everyone, but we can also bring new people on board and network with like-minded people. But we need people that have got big ideas, but they've got a real drive as well, and they're not going to back down.
This is before your day, Jake. 1968, Enoch Powell.
Yeah.
I remember when he shook this nation. Yeah. But what he said was true.
Yeah, his country.
He was basically saying that we're being taken over. If we don't stop immigration, our nation's going to be destroyed. Yeah. If we don't get out the European Union, our freedom's going to be lost.
Definitely.
What he said was true, and it was true 50 years ago.
Yeah.
And where's it all going to lead? You see, this is the point. If we don't respond, where's all this going to lead?
Violence eventually. What'll happen? Because politically, we need to be motivated. And we need to do the right thing. Because if we don't, what you'll end up is a scenario like Bosnia, like a civil war, and it'll be tit for tat. And none of us want any of this, but this is inevitably going to happen if something's not done politically.
It's true, because
it's sad to say, but it's the harsh truth of what's going to happen.
If people come in and don't integrate, they form their own communities with their own agendas. They come into conflict with other communities.
Ghettoisation as well.
Creates friction, doesn't it?
Definitely massive.
And that friction eventually will lead to conflicts.
Yeah,
it's leading to political struggles now. It could go beyond that.
Yeah, and that's what we don't want.
How do you see the next 10 years evolving then?
I see Western Europe, specifically Britain as a whole, shifting massively more to the patriotic right. And I see, obviously, I've witnessed myself, obviously when I'm young myself, people that are younger than me that are really educated, they're really awake to what's going on. Yeah. We just need to keep getting more younger people involved in patriotic politics, and there's a lot of younger women, younger couples, and it's brilliant to see, and that's what we need to do.
So you're optimistic then? You're optimistic about the future? Yeah, because you think eventually we're waking up?
We are, big time. I get obviously still worried at times, but I do think as a whole we are on the right side of history, 100%. And you've just got to look at what's happening in Germany and Spain with the Vox Party. It's happening all over, so it's going to come here, And Brexit and Trump was the start of all this.
That was 2016. My great hope is in 2020 Trump gets re-elected.
I think he will do.
Because that will really smash the old paradigm, the globalist paradigm.
I think he will, and he can get more laws passed as well. I think he'll win in a landslide next year.
But I mean, he's educating people, isn't he, all the time?
Yeah,
I mean, and he's polarised people. I mean, the way the globalists work is through manipulation. They manipulate people. You've got to expose them for what they are. Trump has exposed them, and he said, "This is the enemy. This is who we've got to fight."
And now people are seeing it as well. Social media has shown all this. They can take social media away from people, but people have seen it with their own eyes. And as soon as it gets shared, people see it. Millions and millions of people on board with all this. It's just keep getting the message out there and not backing down and not being sort of scared to say what you really think. You know what I mean? You've got to speak out now, because in 20, 30 years time it might even be less than that. It's too late. People need to get politically active now and get involved. And there's loads of positive things you can do, and it's just like-minded people you network with or groups, and we just all need to be uniting together. We might not agree on everything, but we need to be united together for the
what I like about Brexit, it's that it just disturbed everything. It shattered the old paradigm. It just shattered it. It's like broken the glass. and people were scared to express themselves. They had no hope in the future. But Brexit has shown who the traitors are in this country, who the enemies, because the British people have voted for independence. We want to be a free country again. These people want to bind us into these globalist structures.
Forever.
And then we can see it's made it black and white, hasn't it?
Yes.
Who the enemy is and who our patriots are.
It's like shaking a bag of marbles, and you've seen it all just unfold. And you see the people that are supposed to be leading us, how much for years and years, how much they've hated the British people. They've conspired against them in every way, shape or form. But even more so with this, obviously with leaving the EU, trying to suspend it, get another 3 months extension, then try and delay, and then try and back a second referendum. And it needs to stop, Paul, to be honest.
This is the point. We were run by traitors, but people didn't believe it.
No, they didn't.
Because they were very good at camouflaging themselves, disguising what they were doing.
Yep.
But now they've exposed themselves now.
Yep.
And they basically said to people, you've got to take a stand. You're either in their camp with the traitors and the globalists, or you're a patriot and you want Britain's freedom. And it's split the country in two. But that needed to be done.
That's all we want. All we want is freedom. We love his country, his culture, his heritage.
Yeah.
We want the best for his country, like anyone. People want the best for their families, don't they? They want the best schools, they want the best jobs. That's all we want for our country, and for Western Europe as well, and Eastern Europe, Central Europe, Southern Europe. That's all we're asking for. We're not asking for anything that's untoward. We're asking for things that have been going on for thousands of years, that have worked. You know what I mean? And that's all we're asking for.
Very important point.
You get labelled with racist, but you're just someone that loves your country.
The left have always tried to label us and portray us as sort of sinister characters.
Not at all.
But all we're standing for is what is decent, what is proper, and what is right. And what in the past was accepted as that. Now they want to twist everything now and say that what was right in the past is wrong today.
No.
It doesn't change, does it?
It's lasted for thousands of years, so there's something that obviously works. Do you know what I mean? This globalist agenda doesn't work. Putting people from different backgrounds and cultural backgrounds, it's never going to work. All it does is it creates tension, and then eventually it boils over, and then you end up getting a civil war scenario where none of us want that. We want to be able to live a good life and be happy, where we live, and have a good
well, this is about national survival, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now, if we're going to survive as a nation, we need the young people of this nation to wake up and come and join us and get involved and overcome this situation.
We're proud of where they're from.
It's really great, Jake, that meets a young guy like you who's got a clear perspective on things and can see the way to overcome these problems. So, great to meet you, Jake.
Thank you, Paul.
Once again, just like to say thank you to all those who've donated towards our channel. We're buying new equipment constantly. We need a new computer actually, and so we need as much support as we can get. We've got fresh expenses coming up, so whatever you can contribute, if you'd like to help us, please do so. There's a PayPal link in the description. Remember to subscribe to our channel and press the bell so you get a notification of any future videos. We're producing 2, 3, 4, 5 a week now, and we're going to keep on rallying the British people, rallying the European people, rallying the people of the Western world. We're all in this together. As Trump said, we're all in this. It's all about us. We're the people who are making this happen, this revolution, this nationalist revolution to save our countries, save our civilization, and kick the globalists into touch. Thank you.